what your direction is, what your vision as a person is before you even think about your vision as an entrepreneur. Because if you know that your destination is at pole 10, you'll be able to start building yourself from pole 1, pole 2, pole 3, pole 4, pole 5, pole 6, pole 7, all the way to pole 10. But if you don't know where you are headed to, it's difficult for you to build a path along the line. So having that kind of a mindset whereby you are able to build yourself from scratch, grow, and then be able to see the mistakes along the way. I'm not saying that you should repeat. That's why we call it experience. So I don't expect anyone from this classroom today to be repeating the mistakes that I've made as an individual starting my own business careers, because today I'll be sharing with you what the challenges people like myself have faced in the industry. So we welcome you to the bootcamp today. And I think that this is not just going to be a learning session for me, as I said earlier, it's going to be a learning session for you, learning session for me. But this session is designed to help you develop the right entrepreneurial mindset and generate innovative ideas that can thrive in today's competitive market. What we will explore are proven techniques, analyze successful Nigerian businesses and African businesses, and learn how to turn your ideas into sustainable and profitable ventures. And how can we do this then? Who can give me an example on how you can turn your idea, what idea you have right now, that could be turned into something sustainable and profitable? Does anybody have a business that is operational right now as we speak?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And what does your business do?
I have a school.
Okay.
And it's going to be 30 years this year.
30 years, all right.
Yeah, and I have a food processing plant.
Okay.
That is going to be 8 years this year.
Lovely, amazing. So, what school do we have? Is it
Nursery, primary, and secondary school.
Awesome. So, you have an idea of what sustainable business and profitable ventures is?
Yes, I do.
So, would you be able to give these people an idea of how you have turned an idea into something sustainable and profitable?
When I have the idea, I have to sit down and put down some points.
Okay.
Firstly, my vision. What do I want? What do I have as my vision? Then I look at my mission. How do I achieve my vision using my mission statement?
So you
and
have
after that,
the visionary thinking as an individual.
Pardon?
I said you have a visionary thinking. You think like a visionary.
Yeah, I have a vision.
Okay.
And then think of, okay, this is my vision. How do I achieve this vision? And that has to do with my mission. How do I go about it? What do I do to get there? And I put that one down. Then I start working on it. When you have an idea, you have a vision, you start working on it. I get some people who are already in the business to know what they are doing, how they are doing, what it entails. And I have a mentor amongst business owners that I do run to from time to time. How do I do this? Where do I go here? And then by the time I was able to gather enough information about the business, then I know that, okay, I can start from here.
Okay.
This is how I need to start. And these are the things I need to do. I look at the government side, the registration of the business, both with the CAC and then with the Lagos State government, asking for approval, get the structure ready, get all the furnitures and things. Then I do employ some staff to start with, the admin staff initially. And by the time I got to the ministry, I tell them I want to start a school. I started with a nursery and primary.
And then you grew.
And then and then I grew. Then after 3-4 years, parents started sitting on my neck. I started the secondary school.
Awesome. So that's you introducing innovation into your stuff. So you follow a protocol, you follow a line that is already put in place, regulatory systems that are already put in place that if you need a business, you need to be able to register your business, get the proper license, get the approvals from government. Then you start thinking about owning an office, having the furniture, and recruiting students to come in. So that's consistency and discipline right there. So if you don't know what your vision is, it's going to be very difficult for one to be able to grade from 1 to 10, because they'll just come from one. As soon as they have the idea, they'll start employing a PA, employing somebody that runs this error before you even start generating income. So at the end of the day, you end up being not resourceful as you should, because you didn't spend enough time to build up the idea, to build up your vision, and know what the roadmap you're taking is. Is there anybody else in this class that has another business that is different from him, or somebody that is just starting? Anyone? I'll take that as a no. So as he said earlier, an entrepreneur mindset includes these 5 things: visionary thinking, resilience and adaptability, innovative problem solving, risk taking and decision making, and continuous learning and improvement. The most important part of everything is visionary thinking and continuous learning and improvement, because the more you learn, the more you understand. That's why over 30 years of existing in doing the same thing, she still has a mentor. And that's her humbling herself down to know that she needs to know more to be able to grow. So if the generation of today, you will see an entrepreneur who is just able to make, let's say, 5 million naira a month, she would think that she's a successful business person. We are very easily contented. We don't even get to see our visions, to know exactly what our limits are before we start making assumption that I'm a successful business person. Being a successful business person is beyond the years, beyond the finances. It's actually you being able to know between wrong and right when it comes to taking business decisions. So as a business individual, I've been in the sector for the longest time, and I run a consulting and investment advisory company, and I advise major international companies across the globe. My company is actually found in 5 different countries, which is the US, the UK, Dubai, Nigeria, and Gambia. I'm a Gambian by nationality. So for me to grow to this extent is because I am able to learn every single day, and I accept my errors and use them as stepping stones for my decisions tomorrow. So for every single business person, even Dangote himself, for him to tell you that, hey, I just woke up one day and made a million or 2 million, no, it doesn't happen like that. It took him time, and he's still learning. For him to be making errors, for anybody to be making errors, because they're still in the learning process, and the learning process never ends. That's why you see somebody, when they have a doctorate degree, they still want to go for another one. They still want to go another one, because they never have the hunger for learning is still there. So as young people and individuals in different business, thinking of going into business, because I believe that we only have one business person here. So if you're thinking of going into business and you're not consistent and ready to learn along the road, then I don't think that's a journey that you'll be able to take. And then we talk about the power of entrepreneurial mindset. What are the powers of entrepreneurial mindset? And what do you think is something that every entrepreneur needs to have in them for them to know that they are in power and they know that they're in the right direction? So let's take, for example, as I've said earlier, Dangote Refinery started with a simple trading business and expanded into a manufacturing cement, sugar, and salt, solving African import dependency. Today, he's doing oil and gas. So the key lessons there are vision, persistence, and market problem solving. We know that these are things that are daily needed. Every single compound you see today is built with cement. Almost, I would say. Almost every single house you go today is built with cement. And every single household you go, they have the consumption of sugar and salt on a daily basis. So if Dangote saw that as a need and he went ahead and started a business, and that business turned into more than that, all the cars that are hunt with gas actually, or oil and gas. So going into that business is innovation. So if he started with sugar and salt and cement and then into oil and gas, all these four things have nothing connected to each other. Maybe sugar and salt too, but cement has nothing connected to sugar. So he tried this, and all that he tried were needs. They were not just something that somebody will wake up and want. It's somebody's needs. You have to focus on needs. You have to put a difference between your needs and your wants. So, what are the people's needs and what are their wants? For you to have an iPhone 15, it's just a want. But for you to wake up in the morning and feel hungry to eat, that's a need and it's a necessity. So I always advise business people to start looking into sectors where you see that there's a necessity. So Flipper Weight is another thing, and they identify a point in online payment access in Africa, and they built a fintech solution. So that's innovation, market-driven approach, and scalability. We have had the traditional way of payment ever since. And when I first got to Nigeria, I realized that everything about Nigeria is now card or transfer, card or transfer. Unlike my country, I'm from the Gambia. If you go to Gambia, you have a card. It won't have no use unless you go to the ATM machine. We don't even have POS on the streets. You go to the ATM machine, withdraw your money, and then go to the restaurant to eat and pay with cash. That's how you carry cash around. You see somebody's pocket so filled with cash at the end of the day. So if there are more smarter ways to approach this thing, then why aren't we, doing it? So why are we thinking about repeating the things that are already in existence? Why can't we create ideas for ourselves? Because most of these things, people create them. And even if you are duplicating an idea that is already in existence, what can you innovate in it? If you have no sense or thought on how to innovate and how to make those ideas better so that you can venture into it and fit into the competition that is in the market, then you don't have to go into it. You should look at a problem that is already looking for solution. The reason I came to Nigeria is because when I realized that Nigeria is going through inflation, and the dollars were losing its value at some point. For me as an investment advisor, I help investors to invest outside of their countries and jurisdiction and be able to save their funds in more stable currencies and invest in more stable economies. So 4 months ago, I moved into Nigeria and I came as an investment advisor who is looking to help Nigerians to start investing in dollars. And on the 12th of February, I'm having the first cohort of export training. We are helping Nigerian local manufacturers to start exporting their products to international market and earning dollars. So if I have, let's say, $100, $150, or $100, and bring it to Nigeria, that's a salary for 2-3 people at some point. But $100 outside of Nigeria is nothing. So if a Nigerian can make products and sell it outside of Nigeria and earn in foreign currency, that is a plus for them. So it makes them have more opportunities and a more balanced way to leverage their businesses and grow and expand. So I saw a problem and I came with a solution and it worked out for me. So what problems do you see that you can solve and you are sure that it will be profitable at the end of the day, but you should be passionate about it? Because you can't be consistent with something that you're not passionate about. So passion is the foundation of everything. You're passionate, you have a vision, you have a mission, you know where your destination is, you know how to go there, then it makes life a little bit more easier to an extent that you won't be able to, bend yourself at certain point of life. You know exactly what direction you're going, you know where you intend to reach, you know how you intend to go. So I was really expecting to have a more interactive conversation with you guys, but it's okay. I'll just share what I have on my slides and then we'll take it out from there. If you guys have any more questions for me, then I'll take those questions. So what are the business idea generation techniques? we discussed problem solving approach, which the Madam Fatma said earlier, and I think that's very important. You need to first find a problem and then look for a solution for it. You need to be able to do market research and trend analysis. If you're not able to research the market, you don't know how many people need these services, how many people are offering these services, how many people the service will impact on, what are the gaps, what are the trends that are happening, what is working and what is not working. You're gonna keep failing, even though the need is there. You're gonna keep failing because you don't even know who your target audience are. You have to identify the demand-driven opportunities first. So it's very important to know that you have to brainstorm and do mind mapping, build a roadmap. One needs a roadmap in everything you do. The reason why the most educated people are always seen with a jotter and a pen is because they know that every single decision that they need to take, it needs to be jotted, and then a map needs to be drawn around it so that they know what direction to take and what next. Growing up, a teacher will give you a homework. We used to hate homework a lot. But there is always a reason for that homework. It's because they want our learning senses to be operational and continuous even while we are at home, so that when we come next day, it will not be a complete fresh day. One. The second thing is because they want to see what we can do outside of the classroom without the help of a teacher. Is it somebody that will go and help tell her parents or his parents, okay, help me with the homework, and they do it, and then they come back to teacher with already correct answers? Is it somebody who will go and struggle with their mind to solve the solution, the problems, or is it somebody that just go and do the quickest work and come? So every time you take a homework home and you come back to the school, there's a thing that the teacher will pick from it, who you are. At the end of the day, they know even more than you think they should. So it's very important to have the mindset of brainstorming and mind mapping. Says that stopped at modify, put to another use, eliminate, and origin an idea. Substitute. Change one component to improve existing business. An existing business. You need to change one thing to improve an existing business. See, everybody is selling salt, and you want to sell salt, but you know your salt is better. So, or instead of selling it in a plastic like every other person, you put it in a nice package bottle or box or anything. You to make a difference in the market. To combine, you need to merge ideas or industries for innovation. For you to be very much to have a good idea technique, you have to be able to merge what is already available to get something better. So David is doing salt business. Fatou is doing salt business. So I'm gonna take David's idea and Fatou's idea, merge it with what I know, and then build something better than both of them. That brings you to bring in better solutions than already those people that are existing. You need to adapt, modify a concept to suit new market, if necessary. When you find a concept that you want to do, modify it as necessary to suit a market that is new. Because every single day we have new kids born, people growing to new ages, thinking differently, and our way of living becomes better and better every single day. Not to the extent of it's better than what we had before, but people are innovating and people are growing. An old girl knows now is different from what the 13-year-old girl before knew, because of how the world is changing and people in different directions. So you need to meet up with everything that you do. Put through another use. Repropose an idea for different markets. The thing you sell in Lagos might be the same thing as the one you sell in Abuja, but the way you sell it to Abuja people will become sell it to ladies' years. So one needs to put that in consideration. So I believe that we have different people from different countries, and I might be using a lot of Nigeria because I'm in Nigeria, so it's easier for me to use Nigeria as an example. But anyway, what works in Kenya might not work in Nigeria. What works in Rwanda might not work in Gambia. So it's really good when you differentiate the markets. So always is very important. Eliminate. Simplify a process or remove inefficiencies. If an employee is not working as they should, take them off. Don't let them drag you. If you start to innovate or bring up ideas and you realize that there's something lacking, go back to the drawing board. Make it as simple as possible and remove anything that is not working if necessary. The reverse. Change the business idea or approach to create value. If what you think you're doing is not working, it's always okay to do the reverse way, to go back to the drawing board and change your approach to be able to know that, okay, this approach, I used approach Z, it didn't work, so I'm going to try approach A and see if it works. If approach A works with you, stick to approach A. Work on approach A and look at better ways to improve approach A. Like Buddha Bank eliminated physical branches and created digital first times. It's not because it didn't work for them, but it's better for them to be just physically present digitally present than physical present, because they're making the same thing. So why would they go through the extra hurdle to just be present somewhere? The market demand. How to validate your business idea. Look at the market demand. Is there any real need for your product? We go back to the needs or services. Competitive analysis. What makes your idea a unique one? What is your difference? What makes you different from the rest of the people? What makes you different? What makes your product different from others? If you don't have an answer to this question, you are not ready for the market. Customer feedback, which is very important. The most important feedback that you need from a client is the feedback of negativity. This product, I bought it. The charger was supposed to last me 5 hours, but the charger also only lasts me 30 minutes. These are what you use to actually create lasting products. If you don't have feedback, you don't grow, because it's the feedback that makes your product better. For you, it's perfect because that's where your state of mind is. But for those that are innovative, they need more than just a 30 minutes charger, because you have Mall and G, you have Oraimo, you have different. So when you buy a charger from Oraimo and it lasts you 1 hour, will you buy a charger from them next time? Next time you'll be looking at better options. Companies that provide you with long-lasting solutions than just companies that provide temporary solutions. Scalability test. Can this idea go beyond the initial stage, or is it going to be stuck at one point? Make sure that your ideas are able to grow, evolve, and are sustainable and durable. If your ideas don't meet that, do not venture into that. I have a case study here called PiggyVest. They started as a simple saving platform, validated demand, and expanded into investment solutions. I started in a single 2.7 million country. My country is just a country of 2.7 million people, and we have 11,000 square meters of land. When I started as an investment advisor, the business went so good that I felt like, I need to be seen in bigger places. I expanded to the US, a country way bigger than my own. And then I went to Dubai. That was not enough. We went to the UK. That was not enough. Now we are in Nigeria, in a country of 250 million. Which even one city, one state of Nigeria is 100% bigger than mine. It's almost equal to my country, or even bigger. So for me to think about a business idea that can evolve, that's sustainable, and that's durable, for the prices for some reason. Everybody needs to know where to put their money and how their money can grow and how they can be profitable in what they do and how they can invest and have good ROI and stuff like that. So these are things that are needed. SAP providing is quite different from, service providing is different from product sales and stuff like that. So if you're selling cashew nuts, it's different from if you're selling business consulting services. If you're selling water, it's different from if you're a teacher. So there are some things that are not tangible. Those are the services. And the things that are tangible are the products. So one needs to know the difference. And what are you good at? You can be good at selling services, but you would be good at selling products. If I was to sell cashew nuts, I'll really want to eat everything because I know I'm not good at selling products. If I don't eat it all, I will dash it to people. But for me, realizing that, okay, my brain functions more than my hand will function, I went into service providing. And I use my head to generate income so that I can be able to afford to employ more than people, to employ more people. We have Nigerian businesses that started with simpler ideas. Innotion Motors built Nigeria's first local manufactured cars to reduce import deficiencies. Farm Proudly created a platform connecting small farmers to investors, revolutionizing agriculture. Jumia